has dementia?
So what I will say is it does make sense that she definitely cognitively has some things that are off. But the aunt that I hear when
Many fans and industry insiders are stunned by the unfortunate and dramatic turn that Wendy Williams' health issues and her turbulent relationship with Diddy have taken. Long renowned for her audacious and often contentious remarks, Wendy Williams was once a dominant force in the realm of talk shows and celebrity rumors. She may have paid a heavy price for speaking out and standing by her beliefs, however, given the most recent rumors about her health and her relationship with Diddy. It's no secret that Wendy Williams has been a divisive figure in the entertainment world, and her life has been anything but typical. Not holding back, Wendy gained notoriety for her unreserved criticism and her unrestrained attitude towards celebrity rumors. Sean Diddy Combs, the music entrepreneur, was one of her first and most important targets. One of the first prominent personalities to criticize Diddy for his supposedly poisonous and manipulative conduct in the business over the years was Wendy Williams, who even went so far as to accuse him of engaging in dark and unsettling behind-the-scenes activities. Many people rejected Wendy's charges against Diddy as unfounded rumors for years. She was often accused of being sloppy, exaggerated, or even attention-seeking, but as time went on, her cautions grew more pertinent, and as more information has emerged, it seems that Wendy was not entirely wrong. Powerful people started to retaliate against her the more she exposed the shadowy underbelly of the entertainment business. According to reports, Diddy was a big factor in Wendy's expulsion from the business since he seemed to take offense at her constant remarks. Wendy found herself estranged from the same environment she had previously controlled when her career started to wane. It's difficult to gauge the toll this had on her personal and professional lives, but it seems like Diddy's influence played a significant role in her demise. Despite her career difficulties, Wendy persisted in speaking up. She was praised and despised for her courage and willingness to take on influential people, but she never gave up. Her relentless search for the truth, however, could have had much more sinister results in the end. Wendy has been battling a crippling illness that has prevented her from walking, according to recent startling revelations regarding her health. The most recent evidence indicates that the timing of Wendy's health problem lends further credence to this notion. Some others think it may not have been a coincidence that her paralysis started at the same time Diddy was getting ready for his trial. One of the most outspoken opponents of Diddy's alleged wrongdoings was Wendy Williams, whose scathing tongue and unwavering bravery were seen as a danger by those who want to keep certain things buried. That Wendy is now permanently paralyzed, and it is believed that she may remain in this position for the remainder of her life, unable to function on her own. Fans and family members are heartbroken by these new revelations, since they had believed that Wendy's prior health issues would just be short-term setbacks that could be resolved. The story's most unsettling element, however, is the mounting conjecture over the source of Wendy's illness. Some reports claim that Wendy's paralysis could be the consequence of a conscious effort to quiet her rather than just physical problems. Rumor has it that Diddy, whom Wendy had been criticizing in public for years, may have contributed to her demise. It is said that Diddy's team planned to remove Wendy from the photo, presumably in punishment for her vocal criticism of him. Moving Wendy from the scene, either literally or figuratively, became a top concern as Diddy's legal issues worsened, because some people started to worry that her remarks may further harm his image. The idea that Diddy may have taken more drastic steps in addition to helping to professionally silence Wendy is among the most unsettling parts of this scenario. Though mostly unsupported, the allegation that he was somehow responsible for her physical deterioration and the resulting lifelong paralysis has generated a lot of controversy. Previous records of Wendy's health problems include her battles with Graves' disease, an autoimmune condition that may produce a range of symptoms, including trouble moving about. But given how abrupt and severe her current illness was, it's unclear whether outside factors contributed to her health issues. The fact that Wendy Williams persisted in criticizing Diddy in spite of her own hardships while addressing her health concerns is what makes this scenario even more unsettling. Wendy didn't hold back from expressing her opinions when Diddy was eventually taken into custody and faced severe legal issues. She really acknowledged in a statement that she had been warning the public about Diddy's actions for a long time. Many had informed her she was right all along, Wendy said, adding that her own intuition had been true. Wendy has made it apparent that she was aware of Diddy's darker side long before anybody else dared to speak up, despite the public's attention being drawn to his illegal actions. Wendy's reputation as someone who was not afraid to tell the truth at any cost is further cemented by her unflinching attitude, even in the face of personal suffering. On the other hand, it also highlights the cost of her resistance to being silenced. A terrifying moment in the continuous conflict between powerful people and individuals who dare to reveal the truth would occur if the allegations are accurate and Diddy was somehow responsible for her physical deterioration. Despite her present health issues, Wendy Williams continues to serve as a reminder of the cost of speaking out against corruption, and her narrative might hold the secret to comprehending the more sinister dynamics at work in the entertainment sector. Despite Wendy's health issues and unknown future, one thing is certain: even though the truth might be harsh and unpleasant, it is often the most dangerous thing a person can own. Despite being the first to expose Diddy's alleged wrongdoings, Wendy Williams could have paid a far higher price for her actions than anybody could have predicted. Now that her health and career are in doubt, Wendy's tale serves as a sobering reminder of the extent some people would go to in order to conceal their secrets. The situation surrounding Wendy Williams has taken a disturbing and tragic turn, with mounting questions about her health, her well-being, and the people around her. As one of the most prominent figures in the entertainment industry, Wendy's life and career have been closely watched by millions. Her bold personality, unfiltered opinions, and no-holds-barred approach to celebrity gossip made her a household name. However, in recent years, Wendy's health and personal life have become increasingly complicated, leading to concerns that her autonomy has been undermined and that there may be a darker side to her story, one that involves powerful individuals in the industry manipulating her situation for their own gain. In 2022, a significant event in Wendy's life changed everything. Wells Fargo, one of the largest financial institutions in the world, took Wendy to court to obtain guardianship over her financial affairs. The bank argued that Wendy was mentally ill and incapable of managing her own finances. This move raised alarms, and many questioned whether this was a legitimate concern about her health or if something more sinister was at play. According to the court documents, Wells Fargo believed that Wendy was suffering from mental deterioration, which included symptoms like losing her words, acting erratically, and having difficulty understanding financial transactions. These signs led the bank to conclude that she needed a guardian to protect her from potential exploitation or financial mismanagement. This explanation provided some clarity about her recent behavior, but it also raised many more questions about the involvement of those close to Wendy and how much they were aware of her deteriorating health. As Wendy's health issues became more public, there was a growing sense that her situation was being manipulated by powerful forces. Wendy's family disclosed that there had been times when people questioned her ability to manage her life, especially when her behavior became erratic and she seemed confused or unable to articulate herself properly. This was particularly evident when Wendy appeared on her talk show or in public interviews, where her speech would sometimes falter and she would struggle to make sense of simple concepts. But the most troubling part of this narrative is the suggestion that someone in the entertainment industry, perhaps even an individual with significant power, may have played a role in Wendy's decline. In addition to the issues surrounding her health, however, Wendy's family, particularly her mother, was not pleased with the appointment of a guardian by Wells Fargo. Wendy's family later revealed in a press release that she had been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia, a form of dementia that affects speech and language. They explained that over the past few years, there had been growing concerns about Wendy's ability to process information. There were reports that Wendy had been living in New York until April 2023, when her legal guardian, who had been appointed by Wells Fargo, refused to tell her family where she was or what kind of treatment she was receiving. According to Wendy's relatives, the guardian had become highly secretive, withholding information about Wendy's whereabouts and care. This situation raised serious concerns about Wendy's safety and whether her rights were being violated. It seems that the only person who knew what was happening with Wendy at the time was the guardian, and this level of secrecy only fueled the suspicion that something was wrong. What is particularly disturbing about this situation is that Wendy's mother, who had offered to be her guardian, was not given the opportunity to take on this role. Instead, Wells Fargo chose a legal guardian who seemed to operate in secrecy, and Wendy's family was left in the dark about her treatment and care. Wendy's mother publicly expressed her disappointment that she was not allowed to care for her daughter, despite being her closest family member. This created a rift between Wendy's family and the appointed guardian, and it has been suggested that the family's lack of involvement in the decision-making process only exacerbated the sense of control and manipulation surrounding Wendy's life. The secrecy surrounding Wendy's treatment has led many to wonder whether someone in a high position within the entertainment industry might be behind her current predicament. The suggestion that Wendy's autonomy was stripped away and that she was kept isolated from her family raises red flags about the possibility of exploitation. Some have speculated that powerful figures in the industry may have seen Wendy's decline as an opportunity to exert control over her life, especially given her outspoken nature and her tendency to expose the darker side of the entertainment world. For years, Wendy Williams had been one of the first to call out powerful figures in the industry, including Sean Diddy Combs, for their alleged shady behavior. Wendy's fearless reporting of the truth made her a target of those who wanted to keep their actions hidden, and it is possible that her health problems were exacerbated or even intentionally manipulated by those who feared her influence. In a larger context, Wendy's story highlights the dangers faced by those who dare to speak truth to power in an industry known for its secrecy and manipulation. Wendy Williams made a career out of exposing the hidden side of Hollywood, calling out the hypocrisy and dark dealings that many others were too afraid to discuss. She wasn't afraid to go after big names like Diddy, and she became a voice for the people who felt marginalized by the entertainment industry. But now, as her health deteriorates and she becomes increasingly isolated from those around her, it seems that Wendy's own story may be an example of the very forces she once warned about. As Wendy's family fights for answers and her health continues to decline, the public is left to wonder how much of her situation is truly a result of her health issues and how much of it may have been orchestrated by powerful figures looking to silence her once and for all. The questions surrounding Wendy's guardianship and the mysterious circumstances surrounding her treatment only serve to deepen the mystery, leaving many to believe that the story of Wendy Williams is far from over. The next chapters of her life could reveal even more about the dark side of the entertainment industry and the price that some are willing to pay to silence those who dare to speak out. I understand that after the camera stopped recording, she went. The secrecy surrounding her guardianship, coupled with the lack of transparency about her treatment, paints a troubling picture of a woman whose voice and autonomy were once her greatest assets, only to be taken away by forces beyond her control. Wendy Williams' case is not just a personal tragedy, it is also a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, especially when it comes to the treatment of those who have been outspoken critics of the entertainment industry. To a facility for treatment, but you don't even know where it is or if you've been able to get in touch with her since she's been there. However, the same thing keeps happening with this response. It's layered so she can call us, but we can't call her. For example, yesterday while I was out for dinner, I missed a call and hurried to the restroom. When I returned, I discovered it was my aunt, but I was unable to return the call. As a result, I haven't spoken to her, and if I tried to call, I was told that no one was here by that name. Oh, she moved into her current location between April and May of last year, and it took us months before we could even get a call. I was telling this story yesterday when I was sitting in a Miami nail salon and I answered a call from a block number. She said, "Hello, Alex," and I replied, "Wendy, we spoke on the phone for 4 hours and 37 minutes," because I hadn't realized that she hadn't been heard from in months. I can't recall who hung up first, but there was that sensation that after I hang up with you, I'm not sure if I'll hear from you again, so I'll wait till you say, "All right, I had to go by her son." Kevin Jr. further disclosed that Wendy's guardian and her team continued to give her large amounts of alcohol despite the physician's obvious warnings that it was worsening her health. They essentially said, the situation worsened when Jason Lee took to Twitter to claim that his people in Wendy's camp had exclusively informed him that there were some people, aka Diddy, trying to kill Wendy Williams. He wrote, "I think they're trying to kill Wendy Williams. Where is she? Why are they hiding her and keeping her from her son? Why did they take her money? Why erase her from the internet? F free Wendy," and that she was drinking so much that it was beginning to affect her headspace and her brain. They said it was alcohol-induced dementia. Jason wasn't lying. The shady legal guardian who had been preventing Wendy from seeing her family against her wishes recently came out and said that Wendy was now permanently disabled and unable to speak. She made this revelation in a filing where she described Wendy as a well-known entertainer who, regrettably, had been impacted by early-onset dementia, which has left her cognitively impaired and permanently disabled. In the same filing, she also included a plea asking the court to protect Williams' privacy by redacting some of the information. The reason why people think that this guardian is working for Diddy and has been causing Wendy's health to deteriorate is because of their long-standing feud, which dates back to the 1990s when she first exposed him for being DL. Apparently, someone sent her some pictures of Diddy getting his wood sucked by another man while he was on vacation in Cancun, and she chose to broadcast them on her radio. Other aspects of her health, such as familial relationships and finances, have already been detailed in the case. They sent Wendy Wills the photo they had taken. Wendy Williams claimed that she had him in a precarious situation and that she was going to expose the fact that he was gay. She had shown people the email in which he threatened to deprive Hot 97 of any music from any of his friends, and that if they didn't fire her before he returned to New York, all of the record labels that were amicable with him would boycott their station. We were in Los Angeles for roughly 3 days before returning to New York. New York, after years of silence, Wendy Williams finally addressed the issue in 2020. Demonstrate when Diddy learned of this, he became extremely irate and sent a strong warning to all of the radio stations in New York not to hire her, or else he would come for them too. A few months ago, he told a story about Wendy Williams, who was fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy. If you don't mind, tell me the story from your perspective and what was in the picture. We were in Cancun when the guy was playing with Puff, so he went behind him, grabbed his trunks, and pulled down some girls who were taking pictures. Goes really deep, which is one of the main reasons why many people think that he and his entire entourage contributed to her health deterioration. Since she has been permanently decapitated, she is unable to speak, and whatever else she says will always be with her. As usual, people had their own opinions about this. One person said, "I really feel someone is doing something to her, and it's an inside job. They're trying to silence her. She knows too much," while another said Wells Fargo stole. This woman's money was then used by the courts to hide it. Yes, I think she's ill, but I feel like they're keeping her family and the public in the dark because we're raising questions that need to be answered. Now, I want to know what you think about Wendy becoming permanently disabled and whether you think Diddy had anything to do with it. Please share your thoughts in the space provided below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other extremely messy video.